A study found that more than 99% of fraud, voter fraud, identified by a Republican-backed program is false. They are false positives. There was a very good study done by Harvard, Yale, and Microsoft researchers who looked at this system. It's called Interstate Voter Registration Crosscheck Program. A lot of you know it just as crosscheck. And the criticism has been that really vague criteria is used to disproportionately target people of color for voter deregistration. And the study figured out that if you vote in Indiana, the study looked at Indiana, if you vote in Indiana and share a name and a birth date with someone else, you might be deregistered under the false pretense of preventing double voting, even though you have many people in the United States that share names and birth dates who are not actually double registered. They're just different people. So Indiana has had the cross-check system for years. Why is it now a problem? Because previously, when the system identified a possible duplicate registration, the voter in Indiana had the opportunity to confirm their address to a voting official or not vote for 2 election cycles before they were automatically removed. Under the new law, with the exact same system, officials can now just remove the person from the voter rolls immediately, which is a major, major problem. So the next question is, why are minority voters more likely to be impacted? It's a very simple answer. Black, Hispanic, and Asian voters are statistically more likely than white voters to share a name and birthday with others in the country. Lee, for example, is a really common Korean name. 50% of US racial minorities share last names compared to just 30% of white Americans. So you can immediately see how applying this same automatic system would disproportionately deregister non-white voters, who of course disproportionately are Democrats, not Republicans. And right-wingers think the answer is, well, these people should pick different names. You're telling me now you need to pick names correctly in order to not be disenfranchised from voting? Not exactly what the founding fathers had in mind, right? The ratio between the legitimate duplicate registrations and incorrect flagging is 1 to 200, okay? To put it a different way, for every 200 incorrectly flagged duplicate voters by this system, the system finds 1 actual duplicate registration. And remember, being registered in 2 places is not a crime. As long as you're not voting twice, it is fine to be registered in 2 places. Trump's daughter, Tiffany Trump, I was registered to vote in 2 places for a while. I still might be. This is not a crime. You are not allowed to vote twice, but the duplicate registrations are not actually the problem. What's the right number? And by what I mean by that is, if you correctly identify 10 duplicate registrations instead of 1 for every 200 false positives, would that make sense? Would the system make sense then? How skewed does this have to be for us to all agree that it's a system that should be removed? And that's kind of the crux of the issue. Not everybody agrees that the incorrect flagging and removal from the voter rolls of disproportionately non-white voters is a problem. We know that Republicans want to use voter suppression of minorities to hurt Democrats, right? Mike Turzai, there's the video of Mike Turzai saying exactly this. Voter ID, which is going to, I don't remember what the quote was, deliver the state of Pennsylvania to Mitt Romney in 2008 or so, 2012, whenever it was, something like that. Republicans know this, right? If you point this out to Republicans, they see this as a feature, not a bug, to use software testing terms, right? A viewer wrote to me and said, David, don't misunderstand this. The system isn't 99% inaccurate. It's 99% accurate. You're just not understanding or admitting who the target is, which is a really, really good point. They've been honest with us. The Republicans have been honest, sometimes behind closed doors, typically, in fact, about the whole point of voter ID. And it is to help Republicans win elections. And that is exactly what we are seeing the Indiana cross-check system do. The system's got to go. It's a disaster, and it's not just Indiana that has it.